a new inexpensive tool for you RC fabricators. What's going on, everyone? As many of you probably know, I love fabrication. Fabricating things out of tube like a chassis or a simple roll cage, a simple bumper, anything like that for RCs is one of my favorite things to do in the hobby. And it doesn't matter if you're going to TIG weld something or if you're doing a map gas fit with some silver solder. In the end, you want to try and get your tubes to match up to each other as best as possible. Generally, that's called coping or fish mouthing, notching. There's a number of words for it, but it's the shape that you put on the end of a tube so when it matches up to another tube, it fits perfectly, where you can see almost no gap anywhere around it. That is the proper way to build with tubing. That should be the goal. And if you do that, it makes joints flow better. It makes things look better. All in all, you're going to have a much better experience. Now, the easiest way, the cheapest way to get that job done is to use something like a 3/16 chainsaw file matching the diameter of 3/16 tubing that typically is what we use for a build like this one here, which is a 10th scale vehicle. Now, this is a piece of 3/16 tubing, and to put a notch in it, really all you're trying to do is run your file alongside the tube, the same direction and orientation as the tube that it's going to match into. So you just want to keep it very consistent and in the dedicated path that you are trying to match. There's a little bit of an art to it as far as like trying to match the angles and things like that, but you have some flexibility. You can kind of step into it a little bit by little bit and end up with a pretty good cope if you just take a little bit of patience. But the hardest part of that entire task is just holding the tubing. Now, you can put it in a vise or you can hold it by hand. A vise is super secure, but you don't really have any reference point for your file. You're just free-handing it, which is not a method that I prefer. So that's not a route that I go. In the past, I have used this. This is a sheet of 1/4-inch steel that I had sitting around. And at some point I got sick of just trying to sit there holding my tubing and using my file. And I decided to just grab this plate and I cut a chunk out of it. I drilled a hole in that piece and then I welded it to this plate. And I made that hole so that it was even with the plate surface so that when I put my tubing through here, it held it right at that surface. So that helped so that the tubing didn't want to push away or pull, away from the file. It just gave me an easy location. I could hold it here and just a super simple thing. This has worked really well for me for a long time. You can see the grooves from where I'm constantly just going. And even though the number of chassis that I built, it really hasn't got that far into it because you're not putting downward pressure. The file just happens to be riding on that surface. But I knew that I can improve on this and I could make it something that you guys could use. And that's what this little piece here is. And I'm just calling this my HD tube notcher. Like my HD bender, it is a combination of some laser cut parts and 3D printed pieces. Now, I'm going to go over exactly how I designed this, the whole thing, and how you can pick it up. This is cut out of 3/16 steel, and it's got this base plate and a cap here, and those sandwiched together a 3D printed guide bushing that goes in the center there. This accomplishes the same thing that I was just talking about. So you're going to take this, and you'll have the ability to either bolt it or clamp it to your table with a clamp here on this outer tab. I always just C-clamped this to my table, but I decided to put a through hole in here so I could bolt it to my table now, just because I thought that'd be a little bit cleaner now that I'm trying to do a little bit better. But with this now, you'll be able to take your 3/16 tubing and you're going to be able to run it through that guide bushing. So it is going to come out just through there. Now, depending on the angle you need to notch at, you may need to increase the amount of stick out that your tubing has. Now, I printed this bushing out of ABS glass fiber. That's not super necessary. I think you're going to be able to do just about any filament. So whatever your printer is, it's probably going to be fine. Now, the guide bushing is just going to give it a little bit of like torsional support. It's not going to be under a tremendous amount of load, so therefore I don't think that the material is going to be wildly important. But the material is recessed down and keyed into the base plate just for added or extra support. On the plate here, you're gonna see a bunch of these lines, and these are just angle reference things for you. They're in 5-degree increments in case you're interested. So, straight up and down is gonna be 90, 85, 80. You can probably count. Maybe you watched Sesame Street. It's just an easy reference for you. Now, my concern is that you're like my table here, you end up wearing down into this thing a little bit. So if I just did etched lines, they would disappear over time. So what I decided to do is these are a single cut through line. They're all the way through the actual plate. So they won't disappear on you over time. This plate is going to get worn as you go. It's going to wear down slightly, but not something that's probably going to be an issue, or it'll probably take quite some time before it ever becomes an issue. We'll actually take this down onto the workbench. I'll mount it and show you exactly the notching methods. But one other thing about this is that with a 3D printed guide bushing there in the center and a file, you could easily just hog through some plastic. That was my concern. So I came up with a solution for that as well. Now, these reference lines that I put on there, those are all calculated based off of a 3/16 file running tangent to these roller bearings that I put on the outside. So your file, you can set and rest up against those bearings, and then as it rotates, it will line up that file along the center line of those lines. It's not based on the exact center of this tube. It's based on those bearings. So that should keep it very consistent for you all the time. And I thought that that was the easiest way to protect the 3D printed part from wearing out or getting dug into or adjusting, anything like that. These are some simple 3x6 bearings, and I picked up a little 10-pack off of Amazon. I'm not super worried about wearing those out. I mean, you're going to be running a file against them, but they should roll at the same time. And even if so, you have plenty to replace it with for handful of pennies per bearing. It's just a very simple tool that accomplishes a task that is kind of annoying or makes your fingers sore after a while. There's just not much else to it. Now, I did try and make this as user-friendly as possible. Now, since these 6 screws on the top sandwich it together, those 6 screws thread into this base plate. I was slightly concerned about having to make sure that everybody taps these holes correctly. These are being offered through SendCut Send. SendCut Send will laser cut and ship you these parts. And when they arrive to you, the base plate and this top cap are going to be attached. There's a little bit of a tab between them, and you're just going to cut that tab off, clean up the pieces, and then you're going to be able to bolt this onto the base plate because I asked SendCut Send to tap the 6 holes for you. Therefore, you don't have to worry about getting this and breaking a tap or anything like that. It was just a bit of a peace of mind. Keeping it simple for everybody, I thought that that was going to be the best method to make sure that this works. Now, you will need 6 pieces of 16 millimeter M3 hardware. So you're going to need the M3 hardware, you're going to need the bearings, and you're going to need to be able to 3D print that guide bushing. That is what you have to do. The rest is going to come from SendCut Send, and when you get it, you'll just cut the 2 pieces apart, get them cleaned up, and flip them over. I ran this, I just cleaned it up quickly with my DA just to give it a nice finish there. Once you do that, wipe it down with some WD-40 just to keep from rust getting on it. Well, unless you live in certain parts of the world where you're never going to be able to stop that. So whatever works best for you, but painting it, not likely the best option. You don't want to gum up your file. So, whatever solution is going to work best for you. For me, clean it up with the DA, wipe it down with some WD-40 occasionally, should be good to go. So I'm gonna take this down to the shop, get it mounted to my bench. This hole here will accept a 1/4 inch or 6 millimeter bolt if you're interested. Otherwise, a C-clamp handles it for the most part. That's all I ever did with this one. If you're interested, there's also the option that I could do one with a 90-degree bend on it so that you could mount it in a vise just on a regular set of jaws. That does add cost because it adds a press brake operation to it. So if it's something that you just feel like you would much rather have that version, I can look into what that added cost would be and see if it is a viable option for this type of thing. Let's jump down to the shop. I'll show you how this thing mounts, and I'll notch a couple of tubes with it to show you exactly what we're working with. Mine is bolted to the bench here just where I can rotate it out, but I generally use it in kind of like this orientation where the tube sticks through, and then I'm working my file towards the edge. Of course, you can just kind of put it however you want, but this is just where I thought it fit best on my bench itself. So from here, again, we'll just take our tube and we'll stick it through there, and then we're just going to cope with our chainsaw file based on that.
Oh, now it makes sense.
But that's all there is to the HD tube notcher. As I mentioned, this is being sold through SendCut Send, so there'll be a link in the description below, which will take you to the page where you can purchase it from SendCut Send, and it'll show up like this. There'll also be a link down there to my website, and that's where you can get the 3D print file for this part as well. Then you'll need the bearings and the hardware. Also, links to the bearings that you need, size information, all that down in the link as far as go to my website. It'll have everything there, as well as on the link on the SendCut Send site. But that's all there is to it. Just a handy piece that was solving a problem compared to that big sheet that I used to use myself. For those of you that are interested, I hope that it works well for you, and I think that it'll make things just a little bit less painful while you're at it. But that is going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, subscribe if you're not already, and if you're interested in seeing videos like this and other videos early or getting some extra behind the scenes stuff, you can check out the channel membership, which helps support the channel a little bit extra as well. There's more information in the description about that also. But that is going to do it for this video. As always, I appreciate you guys for watching. Thanks again, and we'll see you on the next one.